Crap, my mic's on. I didn't even know my mic was on. Whoops. Oh. Has it? It's always on during the pre-show thing? No. Whoopsie. Alright. Okay, I got 2 tracks so far. I don't think today is gonna be a super long stream, to be honest. Let's do a couple tracks. Figured it might be nice also to just chat a little bit. See what's up. Okay. Let me just check. Oops. Oh, shit. There we go. Okay, so if anyone's a patron and wants to get, if anyone is a patron and wants to get their track in ahead of the line, just post it in the patron Discord. I'm gonna start in a bit. I'm just getting my shit together. Okay. Yeah, send it in, Soup. For sure. Okay. Alright. Yeah. I don't know if I want to play this video, but I think it's just worth talking about briefly, like, what kind of things can we do in our community to, like, help accelerate Black liberation and helping people of color and just making our everything more inclusive and stuff. I know this is not like your go-to place for political stuff, and I won't make it that, but I think it's important to kind of just to think about it, because I know that we're all in the same place. Like, we all care about this. We all, you know, care about the people of color in our lives, and we care about, like, equal rights and justice, and we all fucking hate police brutality. I think I would be really surprised if there was anybody here who was, you know, against that. I would be really, really surprised. But I mean, you know, you never know. But I think, like, it's important to think about, okay, so what do we do now? Like, this thing kind of made a big splash, and now it's all on our minds. So what can we do to fuck, this is like blocking the chat now here. Maybe I'll just put it here. What do we do now? Like, how do we move forward in a way that helps? I think, like, I don't really have any answers, but I'm really interested in, like, you know, what kind of things we might come up with. I think, I mean, one thing that kind of pops to mind is, like, trying to organize ways for us to all help support each other. Like, I'm not sure how we would do this, but some sort of way of helping each other with the material things, so that when people kind of come into our crew, we can help them start to get away from fucking wage labor. I mean, I think so. Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about that too. Like, I'm not really sure what I can do as a producer, but I don't know. I mean, you know, I'll update y'all as time goes by, and what might, you know, any thoughts that I have and stuff, and please let me know what you think. So this video, like, trigger warning, this video's fucking has some intense footage in it, but if you don't want to see that shit, it's still, I'd say, interesting to listen to. This YouTuber, Cuck Philosophy, often talks just over, like, a blank background. You don't really need the visual to get what's going on. That being said, like, yeah, for sure, trigger warning for this. I'm gonna share it in the chat, but I think it's really interesting. It's 12 minutes, and it kind of gives you a good breakdown of, like, the past, where policing came from, what to do after, blah blah blah. So that's the one. I'm just gonna go trigger warning. Trigger warning. Police brutality. I don't know. I'm just gonna go violence. I want to say police violence. Let's say. Sure. Okay. Good. So, all right. But yeah, I think, like, all this stuff has been kind of the kick in the ass that I needed to sort of be like, okay, maybe I should do more, you know? And I kind of hope that that's a feeling that we're all having right now. That, you know, there's always more that we can do and stuff. All right, cool. Links are here if you want. I'll post them in the chat too every so often. If you want to donate or learn more or whatever, there's that stuff. Okay. So let's review some tracks. Oops, don't look at that. Oh, shit. That was bad. Alright, here we go. Okay. Yeah, donating is always an option. There's a link in that, in there, there's a, in the like donation area, there's that link that you can just like put the YouTube video on in the background and stuff. I know, I do that all the time, it's brutal. God damn it. Oh shit, you're not even supposed to see that. What am I doing? I'm a mess today. Alright. Okay, let's get started. Number Boy is back again with an updated version. Is it better to donate to BLM or NAACP? Yo, that is a good question. I'm not sure. Hold on, Menace. I don't see your email. You sent it to World Track Review? Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like Black Lives Matter is probably better. I don't know. I feel like they're a little bit more, like, aggressive for change. I don't know. Alright. Number Boy is up first.
Let's talk about faith.
Damn.
Faith. Okay. Time to be amped.
Yeah. I think we had a second to understand where that sample was from.
Sort of thinking outside the box. And then if we want to make it all whatever. RPP on it. I don't know. Stuff like this.
That was delightful. Thank you, number boy. I don't know who that idiot is in the vocal sample. We gotta take that shit out. Yeah, it's like this track's really coming along. I mean, mine is the vocal sample. Everything else sounds really good. I'm not a huge fan of like really like row, meow, meow kind of mouth sound bass, but I think it works in this context. And your production is just getting so good, like so tight and stuff. It's really, really nice. I like what you did with the snare also. I feel like you changed it and it's nice.
Sort of thinking outside the box.
Okay, that's distracting. But yeah, it's good, and I feel like the flow is, I mean, it's hard to not be distracted by that sample. But yeah, I think, I think it's good. It's going really well. I'm curious to hear what it really sounds like. Nice one. Where to go with it? I think, okay, so one thing I wanted to point out, some of the fills, I think these could use a bit of refinement, like where the drum hits land and stuff. Like I think it also might be worth incorporating some other sounds into the fills. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's really coming along. Nice. Good job. Take that stupid vocal sample out.
Let's talk about bass.
Thank you for setting that. Very good. All right. Is this person here? Grams. I don't think I've heard your stuff before. Who is this? Who is this? Oh shit, I forgot to change my shirt. I'm still wearing the same shirt from last Thursday. Whoops. Yeah, this is really nice. Okay, so Wicked, really, really nice. I think. God damn it. I think. I think the one thing I would say, like, the whole thing really works for me, and especially like in this style, I think. The one thing I would say is stereo movement and expanding and contracting on the bass. That would be my my only kind of minor tweak to this. Just going in, like, don't fucking auto pan shit like that, but like go in and go through and just be like, oh, where would it be cool if the bass just kind of went like, you know, or or be like, you know, these kind of movements and left and right and all that kind of stuff. I think that would be like the icing on the cake. Super nice track though. Really like that a lot. I like that a lot. It's good stuff. Killer name. Is Ghost Factory here? Super nice. Nice. I was not aware you had this alter ego, and now I'm very curious about what's over there. I'll open that for later. Yeah, I don't have any feedback on this. I am really down with this kind of stuff. If anybody wants to send more of this this feels like pretty like raw emotional stuff, and yeah, I gotta work on that snare. The bass, could the bass be louder? No, yeah, I really like that. I don't know if you're a fan of Tim Hecker, but I really like. Actually, I don't know why I thought of this. I think it's just because I said like the bass, but but I think like some strategic bass moments would be cool too. I usually just do one track per person unless it's like a super slow day, and since I'm not feeling super up to this today, I'm gonna say no to multiple tracks today. But generally I'm not against it. But yeah, I really like this kind of stuff. I'm super open to having more of this kind of stuff on stream. It really, like, one of the things that I really like about stuff like this is it really is a really focused, like, emotional space, you know? I think that's really nice. Hey, Shadow Wonder. Okay, Shadow Wonder. Oh, wait, who else is... Shit, wait, hold on, now I gotta like cross-check with who's a patron. Here we go. Okay, Shadow Wanderer is a patron. Yeah, it's alright. I'm new to this. It's hard. I'm not good at remembering stuff. Come on. Hey, Ben. How are you? Oh no, wait. Is that Ben? I always forget. I meant to say, hey, energy. Oops. Hey. Phil. My bad, Phil. Sorry. Alright. We got Basque. Teddy. Okay, nice. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going. Oh yeah, let me check the Discord. Alright. Hey, Glork. Alright. Cool. Shadow Wanderer is up. Oh, thanks, Clark. That's fucking awesome. Thank you. That song is fucking sick. I love that. That was fucking beautiful. Wow. I'm holy shit. That was really, really good. Wow. Let's listen to some bits again. I love that moment. Oh. Fucking unreal. That is... God damn. Alright, let's listen to it one more time from the beginning. Just for fun. I don't have any critique on this. This is good. I know that that's not like exactly related to the cause, but I feel like it's a small something that we can all somehow help with. I fucking don't know how though. But I think like, I mean, in my current, okay, again, sorry, like not a long aside on this, but just a thought. See you, Ouroboros. Okay, so one thought I was kind of thinking about yesterday, like since I started the Patreon thing, is like, it's like some sort of situation like that where the money is sort of separated from the thing, so that we can, because you can release stuff like this in the, oh, thanks, Jack, that's awesome. You can release stuff like this if it has a sample in it, in any sort of like archive.org, any sort of thing. You can release it for free. There's like little limits on that kind of stuff, but if you're, there's a way of doing it. I should look into it a little bit more. Like all the old net labels that I used to be on had shitloads of like copyright samples, and we just release all of it on websites and all for free. So this is the thing, is that we need to figure out a way to, like, if you release, it's like donations, release it for free, but really it's like pay for it, you know? Like, I don't know how to best organize that, but I, like, for example, one of the ideas that I like about the Patreon thing is, like, I think my sneaky face. I think that's a fucking awesome avenue for releasing stuff that has like hella samples. And also I think it's worthwhile thinking about who are you sampling, because I think sampling has this integral, sampling and remix sort of has this sort of core of releasing power from, like, reclaiming power from like big places that hold on to it when they're fucking white knuckles. And yeah, I know it's not a big thing. Again, it's not like, it's not going to change the world, but I think that little things like that help, and like community building is like a really important part of, I don't know, I think Shadow Under said like the guitar or something is copyrighted in this. But yeah, so I think that maybe that's something that we should talk about in the glitch.cool server or somewhere or something. I'm not really sure what the best way to organize that is, but like I really think that we should figure out a way where like something like that, because I think like so what VSpec said is like that's I think so that's the common way of thinking, is like having a friend that plays the same lick or something like that, or having a friend that sings the same thing. God damn it, blank poster. I don't have one now. Now I have one. Now I don't have one. Out of sight, out of mind. But yeah, so I think like, and there's something I really like, actually. It's from Ishgor's Guide to Electronic Music. Hold on, actually, I have the quote somewhere here. Let me just fucking bring it up. This is gonna take me forever. I hope not, but it might. I really like this quote that I put somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Okay, so okay. To the anarchist, culture-jamming, copyright-liberating, post-punk pranksters who make it known that music is free, sampling is an end in itself, not a means. It is both art, canvas, paint, and brush. But it is more than just a form of music. It is an ideology encapsulated within the fundamental belief that art is an expression, not property. It is to be explored, not controlled. Yet the simple recognition of the aesthetic worshipping of sonic liberty has made it the most illegal music in the world. But you know what? They don't care. They'll sample anything they damn well please. You can't stop them. They'll sample your hit single. They'll sample you complaining about sampling your hit single. They'll sample you trying to stop them from sampling your hit single. And when you sue them, they'll sample that too. They'll take anything that fuels culture and power society and appropriate it for their own uses. To them, anything you say is simply raw material. So I really yeah, God damn it. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm trying. Look, I got a lot on my plate, okay? I'm just reading. It's from Ishgor's Guide to Electronic Music. From the old one. It is, I think it was this one. Which needs Flash, and I don't approve, but that's the old one. You can also download the full one from like torrent sites, and then this is the new one. Yeah, that one was old as fuck, but anyways, I really like that quote, and I think it's important not to get trapped in this idea that we need to be fucking reinventing everything all the time. Like, I think we should acknowledge our sources, or sometimes as a like a mini political action, not acknowledge our sources, like in a way to sort of like sample as you know, some sort of political action or whatever. Anyways, whatever. I'm gonna go easy on that shit. Don't worry about that. Okay, cool. But the track is awesome, and yeah, like if you don't have a reason for it being a sample, and you know, it doesn't have to be a sample, but I also think that it's worth thinking about, like, how can we figure out a way where we can release these songs and get and help support each other so that we can live and eat and everything. And I think that needs to be it needs to be more of a priority of mine personally. Okay. Okay, we listened to that one. And now it's time for Jack. I'm loving this. Oh shit, I'm not supposed to do that sign. I'm loving this. turned it up a bit. Okay. Yeah, I think that this is really nice. I think so. One thing that this makes me think of a little bit is like we talked a little bit about that James. Where is YouTube? James Holden 10101. We talked a little bit about this last time, and like the way. Oh, fuck you. The way the melodic elements sort of evolve and stuff, and I know this is fucking really hard to do, but I think that would be a really nice next step for that. So like those bells have some sort of changing, or these long tails that evolve, or something like that. And then yeah, there's some mixed things that I think like I'm guessing this is not mastered, obviously, so that I think that's like you'll figure it out in time. I'm not too worried about that, and I've heard your stuff before. I don't think that's going to be an issue. So I would kind of, my focus is more on the composition and stuff. So and yeah, I think yeah, I mean, I didn't really have any huge criticism of the mix either, but anyways, whatever. So I think it's like that's sort of besides the point. Yeah, I think like just some other little elements or something, or some more sound design work on the melodic stuff to help it evolve a little bit more. I think that would help, but I love the vibe of this. I think it's really, really, really nice. I think it's going really well. And yeah, I would be super wary of making it too complicated, because it's already like the point is very clear in this track, and I really like that. So I wouldn't go too ham with the sound design-y effect stuff on the melody, but there might be ways of doing something interesting with that. One of my favorite things recently is like layering two instruments and then kind of controlling the levels of both of them so that they can kind of morph into each other. You get some really nice in-between sounds when you do that kind of stuff too. But yeah, wicked. Awesome stuff. Okay, Sunk is back with Hypercube Floorgasm Sunk Remix, which I'm excited to check out. restart that because I fucking had the volume way up too high.
Wow.
that was wicked. I guess my only feedback would be, like almost a mastering thing would be a little bit less highs and a little bit more lows. I've had this like struggle with finding the right balance for this kind of stuff forever, and I still feel like I can never figure it out. But yeah, the sound design in this is fucking insane. It's so fucking insane. Yeah, this kind of stuff is so hard to mix. That's one of the biggest difficulties with it, in my opinion, is like you can make a bunch of crazy sounds, but then like making them like fit nicely and all that stuff is super hard. So yeah, I'm with you. So yes, and I think I made the mistake when my friend was doing the mastering for what's it called? For Dragged, he kind of convinced me to pull down the highs, and I think he pulled them down a bit much. But there's a sweet spot, I think, between what happened with Dragged and where you're at now. I think it's a little bit tamer in the high. Or it's even like, I would say it's not even like the highs in general. There's just some frequencies in there that it could be just as intense, but like a little bit less with the ultra high frequency stuff, I think. It's Shadow Wanderer for sure. That's like you're like I got this, and then you're like listen back and you're like, ooh, wait, hold on, how do I fix this? Yeah, Glork, I agree with you. It's not like the highs in general. I feel like it has to do with some sort of EQ curve to get this nice like beefiness. Just a little bit more of this beefiness, but it's sound design stereo field shit is insane. Also, I've been super curious like how to make these kind of sounds. I feel like I don't actually know how to do this. But yeah, it really works in my opinion. So that is a crazy track. I also like, one thought I had was that there's this really nice chord that kind of happens somewhere here. This. And I kind of feel like another chord to go with that one, or maybe even a couple, or maybe just one. I don't know, but one more of these I think would be like so nice. Such a sweet little thing. Fab. Top left. Yeah, that was, I love hearing that kind of stuff. I want to hear more of that stuff. I think it's worth noting too that like this still feels like uniquely, like this is sunk. This doesn't feel like some sort of pastiche or imitation or something like that to me. This feels like uniquely your own. And I know, like, sometimes when there's few people kind of doing a certain sound, it's tempting, like, it's kind of like, oh, I don't want it to be too much like the other people because then it's going to feel like I'm ripping them off or something. But I know, I've had the same feeling with millions of tracks. Yeah, I know. I mean, how do you think I felt when I wrote like Tiny Moon and stuff like that, like an Empty, for example? The whole time I was writing Empty, I was like, man, I'm really like ripping on List of Lists. But that's the thing is, it's like, it's not. It's your own thing. It's your own thing, and you're no one. I don't think anyone's gonna criticize you for putting something like this out. This is so sick. Like, I mean, that's the whole point of why I jumped into that thing is like, you know, this music is so fun. I love listening to this kind of stuff, and that's why I feel like, um, yeah. Like I think that this is good, and we're sort of pushed to feel like, oh, you can't be like anybody else. It's like, no, that's fucking stupid. Like, gotta lift each other up. Like, this is the thing that we all like. Let's just do it. Like, let's forget about, you know, um, we don't all. Yeah, exactly. The original thought fallacy. Yeah, no doubt. And you know, on that note, this is not like an imitation or a pastiche or a whatever rip-off or whatever. It's uniquely yours. It's very uniquely yours, and I really love it. I love your approach, and I love your way of doing it. It's great. Big fan. Big fan. Okay. Okay, Jades. I still don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. This is always so confusing to me. Kiads. Kiads? You have the craziest vibes in your songs. I really, just such like thick atmosphere and texture. It's really wicked. Just want to hear longer tracks by you. It's really all like more, longer. Come on. Give us more. We want it. Also really nice. All those little elements like have really nice sound design. I really like that. It's really cool. And it's really true what Manas is saying. It's like, just keep moving. You're never gonna be perfect. I know it's hard to overcome that feeling of like, oh, come on, it's gotta be, oh, a little bit more, but like, yeah. A song is finished when you purely hate it. I mean, I personally think that we shouldn't be getting down on ourselves so much. Like, all of us, we're doing great. Like, let's just, get off your own back and be like, hey, this is cool. I made a cool thing. Just make it a bit longer, and then yeah, it's hard to get out of that mindset. It also took me a really long time to get out of that mindset of just being like, everything I fucking make is trash and I hate it, and I really am not in favor of going back. Yeah. I'll finish a track and then I'll enjoy it for a couple days. And then it's over. Oh, my head is so shiny and yellow. Alright. Just bask. Oh wait, okay, wait, before we do this I'm gonna get a drink of water. Let's listen to this. That's enough. Okay. All right. Just bask. Just bask. Here we go. That's nice. Okay, so I think okay, yeah, so we talked a little bit in the chat about the chopping up the stuff. And the pauses are really nice. I almost want to hear more of them. For the melody, one of the things that I do a shitload to like develop melodies is like, I wonder if I have any saved on the side somewhere in here. Probably not. Okay, so but one of the things that I'll do is like, okay, so say you have yours sounds like a pretty long one. So say you have a 16 bar melody. What I'll often do is just add an instrument below it and just make another part that goes with that one, and then make another part that goes with that one, maybe, or continue this one and add a part that goes with this one, and then etc., etc. And then and I think like one of the things that I didn't realize how powerful it is like like figuring out how different instruments can work together. For so long I did that, like, you know, mash some keys, one single line over top, you know. Clark's got some great advice for drums and stuff. But yeah, so I think like this is a really interesting technique for developing out melodies and stuff. And then once you get here, you can always go back here and like add something minimal. Or sometimes it's interesting to take some of the notes out of one of these and voice those notes on a different instrument so that you have this kind of interplay between the instruments. Oftentimes what I do also is like I'll write a first melody and the first one will be really full. Like there'll be kind of too many notes, I guess. And then so when I start writing this one, then I'll start going through here and being like, okay, which notes can I pull out to make more space for this instrument? you know? And then once you start layering 3 of them, then you have more places that you can kind of hollow out to add room for this one. And cool harmonies can happen from, you know, playing a chord over 3 or 4 instruments. So I really, really recommend this technique, specifically this kind of diagonal thing, because you can get some really cool stuff. And then when you're done, because they're all based on each other, a lot of the times, like, this will work with this, you know, these two already work together, but maybe this one will also work with this one, you know, that sort of stuff. It's a really fun way of, like, developing your melodies, which doesn't feel, melody and harmony stuff, which really doesn't feel like tedious and painful, like developing melodies and harmonies sometimes can feel. Yeah, that would be one thought for this. But the vibe is good. Also, another way of doing this kind of stuff I like to do is, like, take a sample and just stretch the shit out of it and write your melody against that, like, almost one tone that's kind of droning. Or I have this, actually, speaking of, like, illegal samples, I have this folder that Jesse sent me a long time. I think it was Jesse, or it might have been Tristan, sent me a long time ago. And there's all these great little, like, this kind of stuff, which I really love for, like, so sometimes what I'll do is I'll, like, take something like this and I'll just try to hide it by, like, just mangling it until you can't tell that it's a sample or something, you know. So maybe something like this, and then pitch down, and then put some other effects on it and stuff, and then we get this, like, already a really nice bed for writing another melody on top of, right? This is a great place to start with another melody on top of it, right? Like, yeah, that's a perfect note. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Feist, also, as you all are well aware, I love to sample. But yeah, I think, and my understanding is that this is illegal. This is, or not illegal, but this is a legal way of doing it. I'm careful not to do this for, like, you know, actual contracts, but in my own music, I do this a ton. And we'll see what kind of, if I get any sort of, like, legal backlash from my next release. But whatever. Anyways. Yeah, and then V-Spec mentioned tension and release, which is true in any music. You want to tell a story, right? Even if your song is, like, just a imagined space that you're putting the listener into. Yeah. I mean, also there's the mentality of, like, if you're famous enough that somebody files a lawsuit against you, I mean, that lawsuit could make you a hell of a lot more famous too. I don't know. There's also, what's his name? Not their name. Velvet. No, I can't remember what that band was called, but they used a sample from the Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones sued, and they got 100% of the royalties of that song. They own that song 100% now. And then, but the Verve, yeah. But then the Verve got hella rich anyways, because they, you know, they were selling CDs. Like, fuck that one song. Who gives a shit? You know? Ice Cube. No, I don't think Ice Cube sampled Queen. That was, what's his name? Vanilla Ice. Ice Cube, though, there's a great track by Ice Cube. I think it was during, after NWA, during, what are they called? West Side Connection. I can't remember if this is a West Side Connection song or NWA song, but this song has, or one of these has like a Nine Inch Nails song, which to me is super fucking awesome and interesting. Like, because, you know, the more you know about the music, the more you know these little details, the more you hear the samples, the more you're like, oh, that's this. I think we should be careful about, like, don't shame each other for that. Like, be like, oh, that's a really cool, interesting thing. I think that's one of the things that I mean, I know that's one of the things that I love about hip hop is like those references and references and references. There's a great video by Vice about Grey Poupon where they talk about rappers referencing Grey Poupon mustard and the history of those references. And I think that stuff is super interesting, and I feel like that's something that we're sort of missing out on by you know, getting all against each other for using samples. It's like, nah, samples are cool. Okay, cool. Great track, though. I really like how this is going. Really interested to see what's going to happen with those drums and the melody and stuff. I think it's coming along really well. The mood is great. Okay, Teddy is up. This is cool. think we should call it the snare rehabilitation force, because no, the snare rehabilitation crew, because we're not using or advocating for violence against snares. Okay, but yeah, I think this track has a lot of snare rehab unit. Yeah, I like that. I think this middle like this track has like is going. It's going in a good way. I think there's work to be done in this section, and I'm not quite sure what to recommend because something really new and exciting is happening here. It is a bit silly, but I think it's silly in an interesting and quite serious way, actually. Yeah, a little bit of like linking it to the other parts. Yeah, Glork had good feedback for sure. Glork always has good feedback. Come on. And maybe a bit more space. I think those saxy things can be a little more integral, I guess. I feel like those interjections of sax are really working for it. Here we go. Here comes a good suggestion, I bet. Yeah, I think that's one of the things too. Like, so Glork says about a metal resonatory thing. I think it would be cool to modulate through this, like, and also that bam 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 bam, or however it goes. That could that could change or become more dissonant or something. I'd be curious to hear like what some of those more silly elements, like what would happen with that if they went into, like, you know, the sunk track, if they went into that kind of sound design, but then still with the silliness in there somehow. I don't know how you would do it, but like, yeah, I would try granularizing and stretching the shit out of some of these hits and stuff. I think you could get some solid glitches out of that, and it would be really fun and interesting. Great part. I think maybe this part even could be longer. And then, yeah, sort of, I mean, to me, this is the main event of the song. So it could be kind of a cool way to focus the track around this moment and make this moment longer. And then maybe, for example, taking this section and then just shifting the notes to make them, I mean, I think the silliness is working, but what I'm saying is, like, it might be interesting to take those notes and then shift them into like a really fucked up key, or like a diminished key or something, and or do something weird to them so that they are a little creepier or something. I don't know, but it's just so interesting. Like, that, I really like this idea. I really don't think that you should give up on this, because I think I can feel the like nugget of like really good something in there, and it's already pretty big, and I think you just have to keep like carving away at it. And then a little bit more, I think you have even more sounds. Get some crazy sounds from all sorts of other instruments too, like the sax is great, but there's lots of other silly instruments that could be, and like weird avant-garde jazz to sample from. I think that's a really great place. Cool. Great work. Awesome. Holocaust. Holocaust? Is this person here? Is this person here? All right, let's skip that one. God damn it. All right. Okay, so let me share these links in the chat again. If you can donate. If you can share info on social media, share info. There's like that last link is good for checking misinformation stuff, or like knowing about misinformation stuff, because there's definitely a lot of different shit going on. Remember, if you're making social media posts, to not like center them around yourself, like, oh, look what I did, but just do good shit and then share information so other people can do it too, you know? You don't tell your personal story or whatever. I think there's time for that for sure, and that stuff is good, but I think now might not be the right time for that. It's a little bit more a good time for, yeah, recorded flutes are awesome. All sorts of flutes are awesome. I don't know why flutes have such a bad rap. I love flutes. I'm all about flutes. What was I saying? Oh yeah, overblown flutes are really awesome. It's not that certain things. It's about yeah, exactly. Kayadis made a really great point. That's a really beautiful. He said, or they said, it's not that certain things don't matter. It's about exposure and priority and avoiding noise, etc. That's a really. I gotta stop making that hand symbol. That's really good. I like that. Okay, so yeah, if you can donate. I did a lesson on Friday, and I'm gonna, or yesterday, I'm gonna donate that $50 to Black Lives Matter. I think one of these ones from the. One of the ones from here, I think. Yeah, bail funds, super good. All right. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining in. Make sure to check this out. This is also super interesting. And there's like, I don't know why this isn't fucking. Here we go. You got to click on these guys. There's lots of examples. And then of special interest to us are like down the glitch rabbit hole, which I don't know where they are actually. Here we go. Glitch. This is what they have as the glitch representation. Anyways, cool. Thanks everybody. Take her easy.